1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during their lives. 1 in 44 men will pass away from the disease. Prostate cancer was first reported in 1853 by Dr. J. Adams. Surprisingly, at the time of his discovery, Dr. Adams classified the disease as rare. However, as Western lifestyles changed and our average lifespans increased, prostate cancer became a serious health risk. Research has shown that the early detection of prostate cancer is a critical factor governing patient survival. Today, due to educational outreach and an increase in screenings, the mortality rate of prostate cancer has fallen to less than half of what it was in 1993. Still, prostate cancer remains the second leading cause of cancer-related deaths for men worldwide. As such, doctors and scientists are looking to identify new ways to both diagnose and treat the disease at its inception. My research centers around using the element copper as a theranostic agent for prostate cancer. A theranostic agent is an agent that can be used to both diagnose and to treat an illness. In the case of copper, we are particularly interested in it because it can be generated as one of 2 radioactive isotopes. A radioactive isotope is similar to the elements or atoms that we learned about in high school chemistry class, but with a twist. These elements contain unstable atomic nuclei that are prone to releasing radiation into their surrounding environment. In the case of copper, we are interested in isotopes copper-64 because it emits radiation perfect for locating an emergent tumor, and we're interested in the isotope copper-67 because it emits a high-energy therapeutic dose of radiation. These isotopes comprise what scientists call a theranostic pair, and in practice they're mixed with other elements such as carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen to form compounds that act as homing missiles for prostate cancer cells. By using an initial dose of copper-64 to identify the location of an emergent tumor, clinicians can follow up with a therapeutic dose of copper-67 to destroy the tumor at the exact point of visualization. While this is a particularly powerful approach towards achieving personalized medicine, scientists are also excited about copper because it's non-toxic and endogenous to the human body, limiting the potential for off-target side effects. However, the endogenous nature of copper is a double-edged sword. Our body is filled with biological agents, such as proteins, that have evolved over millions of years for the sole purpose of binding to and sequestering copper for their own use. In doing so, these proteins are removing the radioactive copper from the tumors we're trying to treat, preventing us from doing so. As such, in order to develop the next generation of theranostic agents for the treatment of prostate cancer, we need to identify the mechanisms at play and put a stop to them. In my daily work, I design, I synthesize, I characterize, and then I test copper-containing molecules to act as key models for theranostic agents. I synthesize these molecules in a similar way that a baker might bake bread, except instead of sugar, spice, and everything nice, I'm using hydrochloric acid, paint thinners, and radioactive materials. To each their own. After synthesizing these molecules, I collaborate with other researchers at Brown University and at other institutions in order to introduce them into the body of a mouse. By following how the radiation travels throughout the organs of the mouse, we're able to build descriptive structure-function relationships between the chemical properties of our compound and their biological behavior. Taking these chemical-biological relationships in mind, I can then return to the benchtop to synthesize new copper compounds with improved biological behavior. And through this improvement-driven design, we will access the next generation of copper-based radiopharmaceutical agents for the early detection and treatment of prostate cancer. And that is why my research matters.